A very good Friday morning, and I appreciate everybody waiting around for Derek and I. This one's on me. It was a busy night with the NFL draft, and things have been a little bit slow moving this morning, not just in terms of my pace, but also the pace of the prop market, which Derek, as again, it's another Friday we wake up, and there's just nothing on the board that we have to push the show back a couple hours here.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of books that didn't have props up early today. The ones that were up weren't showing a whole lot of value. There's still not quite as much as I'd normally like to see, but one of these in particular does show huge value.
Speaking of huge value, yesterday via the old Twitter machine for the Bad X release, a very nice 10-1 winner for everyone following John Birdie over 0.5 stolen bases. You were saying within the tweet that was sent out yesterday that this was as much value as you have seen on any prop the entire season. Sure enough, it hits halfway through the game.
Yeah, it was just an egregiously bad line. It was projected to win 25% of the time. So like a 4-1 shot that you got 11-1 odds on, it was just insane. The expected value on it was over $100 on a $100 bet, which is just crazy. And we have another one today that projects almost as good as this Birdie one did yesterday.
Awesome. So as soon as we get to that, just 1 second, quick to reference the win-loss record for the show, because of the stolen base props that are now becoming popular, because of the home run props, always going to be under 500 because we are starting to give out these longer odds plays. As it stands now, 8-11, just below break even, a bit of a tough run with a lot of bad beats, but that win yesterday, enormous overall. We'll have a full recap, but today, feeling very good looking at these prices. We've got two really good ones, so I think it makes sense to get into it if you're good as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. So, again, for those of you who are joining for the first time, the Bad X release show here on Covers. If we were just to give out the pick, people are going to bet it, especially with this first one that we're going to be giving out. Really big odds that we're going to see a ton of value on. So what we have to do is follow the release procedure, which allows everybody to go step by step with us, get to the bet slip at the same time, and hopefully click submit at the same time where everybody can get the best odds. I'll tell you what game we're betting. I'll tell you what prop market we're betting on. I'll tell you the team, the player we're betting on, and then who that player is, as well as the over or the under. We'll give about 10 seconds between each step, allow everyone to go through with us, and then we'll get to the bet slip at the final time. So with all of that said, there are two releases for today. So we will start off with the first one. And the game that we are looking at is at BetMGM. For both of these, you'll find the best odds. The game is the Angels at the White Sox. So it is the Angels-White Sox game for the first of two releases today. And a reminder for everybody watching as we have your attention here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, going forward starting next week, 1 p.m. Eastern. So we have this wider availability. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. You notice how I slipped it in as I gave the game, so everybody's paying attention, and there'll be no tweets next Tuesday saying, where's the show? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. All right, Angels-White Sox is the game, and we are looking at a stolen base prop. The market is total stolen bases. Yesterday, there was a very big winner. Derek has been identifying a ton of value with stolen bases. Today, we are seeing one that provides a ton of value again. We'll give everybody another 5 seconds here to find stolen bases at BetMGM or your sportsbook. And I will tell you the team, player, and bet in just a couple of seconds. For the first release, we are going with Tim Anderson over 0.5 stolen bases plus 500. The bet is on Tim Anderson to steal a base plus 500. Let us know, where were you betting? What price did you get? This is a number that is absolutely going to move because, Derek, I'm looking at the implied projection versus the bat projection as well as the EV that comes from this bet. And this is an enormous edge and advantage here, isn't it?
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, what it comes down to is that Noah Syndergaard is incredibly easy to steal against. He's the single easiest pitcher in all of baseball to steal against. Players, they run on him
They
like
run all day.
crazy. Yeah. Catcher Max Stassi also is, represents a favorable matchup in this regard. And the great thing is that Syndergaard, like he's been this way his whole career, and he used to be like an elite pitcher. He's really not anymore. Like he's just kind of okay. So it's easier to get on base against him in the first place, which is really nice. So yeah, the implied projection here is about 0.16 and the bat's projection is 0.37. The bat thinks this is a winner 36% of the time. So you're going to win, 1 in 3 and you're getting paid out, 5 to 1 essentially. So this is this is a really good spot for Anderson. If you're feeling frisky, Josh Harrison in the same lineup for all the same reasons, you can get him, I think, plus 1,000 or plus 1,100. Just this matchup's really, really good.
Fantastic. So great start. Tim Anderson over 0.5 stolen bases, plus 500. We saw MGM take it off of the board shortly after announced. That is as expected, but that is why we are doing the release shows. Carrying on with release number 2. This can be found in the Cincinnati at Colorado game. So we're looking at the Reds at the Rockies. We'll give everybody 5 to 10 seconds here to get into the Reds-Rockies game. And again, I'll remind you, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. The show times will be adjusting Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Release number 2, Reds at the Rockies. We will go with a pitcher strikeout prop. So we're moving away from the stolen bases, going back to Derek's bread and butter, essentially, from the Bad X. A lot of success with player strikeouts. A lot of these very tightly lined nowadays, too. So we're looking at a pitcher strikeout prop. We'll give everybody another 5 to 10 seconds to find the pitcher strikeout market. We'll get to the release shortly after. For release number 2, we are going with Hunter Green under 4.5 strikeouts plus 105. This is a bet that you will be able to find at any sportsbook, offering sportsbook K-props, the majority of them. Hunter Green under 4.5 strikeouts plus 105. Let us know where you were betting it. What price did you get? What odds did you see? Already saw people jumping the gun a little bit, maybe knowing that Green under was coming in the chat. But looks like people were able to have success with this one. Kevin Flynn, minus 108 in the prop builder. Derek, Hunter Green under 4.5 plus money. What were you looking at here, and what do you see in Green?
Yeah, the big thing is Coors Field. Coors Field is, just such an outlier of a park. The elevation is so high. It suppresses strikeouts to such a huge degree. Even though Colorado's lineup is very strikeout heavy, the park plays to suppress them. And Green is like a young, like talented, like big time stuff kind of guy. And I think a lot of times early in the year, we see lines for these guys pumped a little bit because they're young and they're exciting. And Green does have a couple big strikeout games on his resume so far this year. 7 Ks in his first start, 6 Ks in his second. But he's been kept on a pretty short leash, both in the minors last year and this year. And so the leash is a big part of this because in Coors Field, if he gets hit around a little bit, as we would expect him to, because it's Coors Field, I think there's a chance we see a fairly quick hook here. And that's definitely a big part of what this projection is based on.
Is it interesting to you that we see these park factors such a well-known thing, but then you get a guy like Green who's had success in certain parks. Now he goes to this one and we're still seeing prop numbers maybe not fully adjusted. That's just kind of a quirk of the MLB market nowadays.
Yeah, there's certain things that we kind of know make a difference, and they just don't always seem to be fully incorporated into the lines. The stolen base thing is a perfect example. Syndergaard is very easy to steal on and has been for years, and the line just doesn't account for it. A lot of times these Coors Field strikeout props, like a lot of time, and I don't know if that's because like it's a granular thing. Like everyone knows Coors Field is great for offense, but I feel like the reputation is Coors Field's great for offense. You get 1 billion home runs there. And Coors Field isn't actually even that great of a home run park. it's really great of a hitter's park because it suppresses the strikeouts and because the outfield is huge. And so there's a lot of room for balls in play to find holes. Yeah, you see home runs there. It's above average, but it's not like the best or even a top 5 home run park. It's because of these other things that it does, like suppress strikeouts.
Fantastic stuff as always. 2 bets for today. Tim Anderson to steal a base plus 500. A lot of confidence behind that one. And then equal confidence behind Green under 4.5 strikeouts. Hopefully we get both of these releases to end off the week and send us into the new schedule next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Say it with me, everybody. You know the days, you know the time, and we'll have more availability at 1 p.m. Eastern beginning on Tuesday. Thanks for everybody joining Derek and I throughout the week. We'll see you on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern.